Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life Laughter Happiness. And I think what we're going to have today is a full house, maybe in more ways than one, and I'll explain why. First, we have my two co-hosts, Kelly and Barbara. Are you there, both of you?
Yeah, hi. Hi.
And
everybody.
And I guess the more ways than one part is the Life After Happiness psychic and medium Vanessa Orr. I didn't know. I mean, we were all, when someone says, you know, I'm going to have this person show up for the show tonight. Are you there, Vanessa?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. That's going to show up for the show tonight. And it's going to be in more ways, you talked about someone that had, I don't know, maybe Barbara, somebody, you know who I'm talking about, right, Vanessa?
Yes.
Okay, they showed up for 7 o'clock. Why don't you tell us about that? Because this is in relation to you, Barbara.
Yes, it's Mark, and he was here at my house. I've been doing readings all day, and I did 3 readings surrounding the show, but one of them was Mark, because I called him in and asked him to be present for the 7 o'clock show, and I'm guessing he's here. But I did a reading earlier regarding Bailey and Priscilla, because Bailey and Priscilla are half-sisters, and their father is Mark and Barbara Moore were life partners before Mark passed away.
Okay.
So I asked him to return at 7. So if I ask if he's here, I got a yes. So I've been busily organizing for Mark.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Barbara, do you have any questions for Vanessa, then, being that this is the case?
Well, I just wanted to know why from Bailey. I don't know if she's calling in or not, but I do know her questions are, why hasn't he appeared in her dreams? But she said that also she's had so much grief. It's never gone away. This is like 12 years.
That's because he's
years,
there
right?
already. But he's
there already.
He
and
told me.
But Vanessa, didn't you say that they also can block it by their grief? They can block people. You feeling people or seeing people because of their grief? I thought you said that.
You can. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's what she told me.
But,
she goes, maybe I'm blocking it. So she
no.
didn't know. So is she blocking it or not? Or he's just there?
No. He told me he's there. He said the first thing about Bailey, he showed me so many ribbons. And so I wanted to ask you all what all these ribbons were. I said, are these ribbons that Bailey, ribbons? And I asked him, are these ribbons that Bailey won? And he said, yes. I saw, did she ride horses?
I don't know.
Okay.
But maybe she was a singing competitor. She was a singer.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. Maybe she did. I don't know anything about her childhood, really, except for he raised her all by himself. Since she was 2, I think. The mom left. I hope she calls in, though, so she can. I'm going to text her right now to see if she's calling in.
Okay.
But that is amazing that he's always there. I mean, they were super close, obviously, since he raised her.
He was showing me he drew a heart in the air at one point. So every reading's different, and this reading was no different. But he drew a heart in the air, and he told me that he is very steadfast. He watches over the 3 of you, Priscilla, Bailey, and you, Barbara.
Really?
He protects you, Barbara, from nefarious encounters, from nefarious.
Has he protected me from something recently?
Yes.
Was it really a serious thing that I?
Yes.
Danger? Like what?
Yes, it could have become that. Yes, it would have been a snare. It would have been a trip up. He shows me a wire, And you know how you can trip over wire, because we're always looking ahead. You know, we're tall, we're looking ahead, and it would have been if I asked would it be physically crippling, I get a yes. So
wow.
He watches. He shows me a lot of dark green or forest green, and I asked him what that was. That was this afternoon. He says that's to camouflage them.
So would this be like somebody's trying to get me in my future to get rid of me or hurt me?
To control and own and make you their own, yes. And it's a situation that is now a past situation in this lifetime. I get a yes on that.
Oh, good.
See, there's no way you can be touched because you are protected. And he was showing me the dark green. And I was so curious because, you know, when we think of dark green, we think of, well, I was thinking of trees, which that's camouflage. If you want to hide, if you're hunting or if you're trying to hide. And so I asked him what that was. He says, I hide them. He never once referred to you or Priscilla or Bailey as my girls. He didn't, because I was rather anticipating that. He refers to you all as them. And that's when he showed me the heart. He drew the heart with his fingers in the air.
That is so sweet and wonderful.
He does long embraces of each of you.
Wow.
He said he couldn't wait for tonight's reading. He was very excited for tonight's reading. I rather sense that Bailey is probably going to be a little too emotional to participate tonight.
Yes. Well, she wanted to talk to me before a little bit, and then I was just out and about so much and dealing with, you know, I had other people around, and there was no privacy to ever talk to her.
Yeah.
So, and then all of a sudden, here it is, the show. So I could.
It's all right. She can hear it. You know, she can hear the podcast. So I got a question. Does Bailey have a boyfriend? Because he talks about one.
Oh, she has a new husband that is wonderful.
Okay, he approves.
Oh, he seems to be so wonderful. Just looking at their Instagram and how happy and how much he loves her. You could just see through all the photos, and she's so happy. And she's, you know, we only ever text, but it's always like how wonderful he is. And they're bringing out Priscilla for, you know, to get to know her. They haven't seen her. I mean, she hasn't seen her since she was a little baby. So I have worked on this for many years to keep them close. And now that Priscilla is like getting grown up, she's feeling like she's fine to fly by herself. And so she's going to go out there really soon. And this new husband, I don't know why he's thinking it was the boyfriend, but he's probably thinking of it as the husband now. I mean, you saw it as the boyfriend, but it's got to be him because he's wonderful.
Yeah, he approved. Mark approved.
Yeah.
So I probably should have done a little more investigation. So, and I failed to do that. He talked about losing weight. Was Mark always talking about losing weight when he was on Earthly Plane?
Oh, he always was on the Stairmaster. He always was watching it. He did this thing called the Bullet because it was the trending thing. And my mom did that weight loss shake too. And they had to carry around the Bullet everywhere. And so he always was conscious of that. Yes, like nonstop working on it all the time. But he was very husky. He was in great shape because of the work he put into it. But I'm thinking if he didn't put that much work into it, he may have been, you know.
Well, he said that you would know. He literally told me, he said, Barbara will know about he was losing the weight. He also talked about a garden and a swing. And he talked about building a patio. Does that make any sense?
Well,
right before
he died, right before he died, I helped him pick out the house that we were going to live in, and there was a lot of ideas that he had for that house, but I don't really remember so much about a swing type of thing.
Oh, maybe he was thinking it. I don't. He was talking about a garden He was talking about a swing, and he showed me a white, like a double, like, you know, a 2-seater white patio swing. And then he was talking about adding on a patio to a building. So this must have been the house. I get a yes on that. He says he studies, and he follows the daughters. He says, I follow my daughters closely. He says, at night when you sleep, Barbara, he breathes over you. So I know that sounds kind of odd and maybe a little, nefarious, but it's meant with love. So he breathes over you and watches over you while you sleep.
Well, that's nice to
Okay.
know that I have that protector, because you know what, when I was with him, I thought, we are just we were inseparable from the day we met, and it's when I moved to Las Vegas and I was living there for a while, I met him, but he's really from Texas, and he was kind of new there, and we were inseparable, and I loved him, and he was funny and gregarious, and he was just my dream man, the way he looked, and like tall with dark hair and the light eyes and husky. I love the big husky, and he was funny, and he was like fun, and there wasn't all these rules. I don't like rules. And then
you would have had rules. If you would have had rules if he had not protected you.
Oh, I would have had rules, and I would have been miserable. And I just want to say, he didn't wear cowboy boots. Shauna is here, and she's one of my only friends who ever. Oh, one more up. Sorry. She's one of the only friends of mine that ever met Mark, because since I was saying we lived in Las Vegas, all my friends were in LA, right? But there was a Playboy event, and she was there, and I said, I really want to go see my boyfriend and not do this last thing that we didn't have to do. And she goes, I want to go with you. So we went. Wasn't that wonderful? You met Mark. Really? Yeah, I had the red Corvette.
Yeah.
And did you like him?
Yeah, he was really nice, really charming, had a beautiful heart. He loved you.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
So not a lot of my friends even ever got to meet him. So it's special that she was able to meet him. But why did he die? Why, Vanessa? He was only 47.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah. Perhaps. I mean, I don't have an answer right now. I can ask him why he died. He, earlier today, and he just showed me a few minutes ago. He, I think in one of the last readings when we spoke with Mark, he showed me stepping out of the carnage. I know that he experienced some pain, but I can't remember what the last reading was, but he said he stepped out of the carnage. And as we know, he was the passenger, but he wanted to drive that vehicle that night as opposed to his friend. Yes. Yeah. It looks like there was a debate, and I think the friend said something like, I'm not that bad, but apparently he was that inebriated. But
yes,
Mark,
you know what? Go ahead. Oh, it was so interesting. It was so sad because a couple weeks before he died, we were talking on the phone. I already had moved back to LA, and he was he was trying to sell the house. He was selling the house, so we wanted to live in Newport Beach. I always wanted to live down here. And he agreed, and he was trying to do that. And he's like, I hate it here. I don't have any friends. And he goes, the only friend I know is like, I go, well, if you don't like that guy, he goes, I don't even like him. And I go, why do you hang around him? All he does is drink. He's a total alcoholic. And he goes, I just don't know very many people. And yeah, and then he hung out with them one too many times more, and cost him his life, and I even warned him not to.
That's what you're telling me explains to me why the guy that was driving the vehicle was inebriated, but he always presented as not drunk, as in came across as placid and not capable, I guess is probably where I'm trying to go with that. And I saw that in the last reading. and I didn't really ask him. I was more interested in gleaning information about Bailey. And then, of course, he took me down the road with you and then talked about the garden and the swing. And also he was talking about what he was wearing, too. So I can talk about that later. But so that makes sense to me now because he didn't really realize that his friend was that inebriated until they sat in the vehicle. I think it was what he was talking about was the odor that was in a closed space inside the vehicle. And then it was revealed. And so then he tried to talk the friend out of it. And he was unsuccessful.
How it happened was the friend got out of control going onto the freeway, not off, going onto the on-ramp. And I know it was at Blue Martinis. They were having drinks. And when that place closed, they got in that car. And that is so close to the establishment where the accident happened. And how do you, roll your car when you're getting on the freeway? I mean, he went up onto the medium concrete thing, and it flipped over, and it landed on top of Mark. People had to come stop, and they lifted the car off of Mark. And that's probably when he died there. So that's probably when he walked out of the carnage, right?
He walked out of the carnage. Yeah, he did. He said it hurt a little bit, but it's interesting because sometimes when I access a car accident, it's so interesting. Everything's always different in every reading. It hurt for a minute, but then it didn't hurt. And then he realized he was standing over the carnage. I'm going to tell you that I was shown that the inebriated driver blacked out. He blacked out. So he must have gone to sleep, I guess. He blacked out.
And I haven't been able to talk. I have so much courage. I don't know what it is. I just didn't want to talk to him. I just thought when I started talking to him, I wouldn't be able to talk. So I can't talk when I cry. I knew that would happen.
Yeah.
So I died. I want to talk to him, Mom. And this is, yes? Okay. Then this was so many years ago. Priscilla said, I want to talk to him. And I dialed the number, and the guy answered, and I hung up on him. I couldn't.
Yeah.
And she would have been strong enough to do it.
No, it's really not something that's going to be broached in this lifetime. I rather sense that Priscilla, given her platform, she will probably charge through and manage that in another lifetime. But this guy's vibration is so destroyed, and they're showing me actually the word dismembered. So you have a vibration that's like superbly low, and if you access someone like Priscilla, who's a very high vibration, I think that's where you would have a disjointed, dissociated conversation. It would be a more frustrating conversation for, say, Priscilla, and it's just something that Priscilla, I am shown, will manage in another lifetime.
Okay, so that's okay that I didn't go through with that conversation. I just felt something wasn't going to be right with it, and I just didn't want to. It was just sometimes things are just so important, and you want them to go a certain way that you worry they're not going to, so then you just don't do it. And I think that's why I just never went through with talking to him. So that makes me feel better, Vanessa, because I always thought maybe I should have asked him questions.
You did the right thing. Here's where you're going to get 100% truth. If we ask the driver who blacked out and then, created that accident that Mark died in, you're going to get, they're showing me, let me find out what percentage of truth you would get. Hold on. So I'm at 10%. I'm not even at 15%. So 10, 11, 12. I'm getting 11%. So what we call this is, and this is what I call this in my practice of Full Soul Readings, I call it the white lie. There's no such thing as a white lie. People like to say that that's telling the truth, that's like partial truth. I told a white lie, which just rankles me, because there's yes or there's no. And when you're creating a gray area, you're creating deception. So he would have tacked on some truth, and then look at this. You have like 89% would be a remainder of a lie. So you did the right thing, because it would have taken you down a rabbit trail, Barbara, of deception. So that was your higher self telling you that's a nothing burger there.
Oh, well, thank you. I should, be sure about my intuition then, not some guessing about it all the time.
I love that. I just love that people say in this situation that you honored your higher self and your intuition, because that's what serves us well. That's the success story. I got to tell you a short story. Last week I went over to, I guess it was Monday. I have a friend that wound up in emergency care for a few days, and so I went to her house to do a little spring cleaning for her before they all came home. And that morning before I left, my guide told me and my intuition told me to take some cleaning supplies and a vacuum, and I disobeyed, and I paid for it when I got there. I did a successful cleanup for my friend so that when she came home it was going to be nice, but it could have been a whole lot better. But so that's the intuition.
Yeah.
And I admonish myself for not paying attention to that, because it cost me time. It cost me more time than I needed to invest in doing that act. So look what you did. You paid attention to that, and it took you away from the rabbit hole of deception, and it took you around that rabbit hole. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes me more
Barbara,
confident with my decision making now.
Yes, absolutely.
Barbara, do you have any more questions? Or?
Yes, I just had one more question. I've always wondered, how is that guy who actually killed him basically feeling that after the accident now? How does he walk through life? He
likes to stay scattered. He likes to stay scattered. That is a truth that is hard to face.
Horrible? Did he feel horrible, or did he try to just?
Yes. No, you are correct.
He felt horrible.
Yes, absolutely. Because I was checking on that. I wondered the same thing, and I checked on that. And it's better to be scattered. It's kind of like when you turn on a TV and you have snow. That's how he likes life.
Okay, is this because of the accident that he lives like that? Yes. Has it affected him greatly?
Yes, I got a yes on that.
Dave Shimp. Yeah, okay. We even went on a woman around him. That guy once. A what around him?
Oh, right. There's a woman around him. Is this it looks like a caretaker. Is this someone who loves him? Yeah. Is it someone who is his partner? I get a yes on that. So it looks like, if anything, in the very recently, is she still there? It looks like up until recently there was someone who was like a caretaker / partner / companion to the driver.
Oh, I know nothing about him, but he was a young guy. I just don't think that. Yeah, I didn't really care. I just wondered if he felt bad about killing somebody and all that. Okay, we went on a double date with him once, and I introduced my really great girlfriend, and he just couldn't keep his hands off of her at the table and getting too close into her space. And we went to the bathroom, and I just said, well, if you don't tell him to lay off, then I'm going to, and I'll have Mark do it. Because, we didn't know that he was bothering her so much, but I guess he was really bothering her. So Mark had to tell him to back off of her. That's what type of person this was. It just was like, it's an icky person. And it's just so sad. Like, that goes to show you that you should really go with your intuition. He didn't like the guy, and yet he still hung out with him. If you don't like somebody and you don't want to be around them, don't be around them. Or they could end up killing you.
Yeah, true. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is it okay if we take a call for now?
I'm okay with it if it's okay with everyone else.
You okay with that, Barbara?
I wanted to ask something. I had, while you were doing Barbara's reading, there was a dove that flew into the window, and it scared me to death. And I had my dragon jumpy on me, and I literally launched off of the couch and then was in a frozen fetal position for like 5 minutes.
Well, it wasn't Mark I asked, because he was here with me, but, he could be everywhere. That's pretty amazing.
I was like, I was not expecting that. I look up and here's this dove, and I'm like, ah! But I didn't say anything. When I get scared, I get quiet and loud stuff, and then it flew off, and I'm just like, whew. Yeah.
Better dumb than a skunk.
I just wanted to kind of put that out there that we had an unexpected visitor, making his presence very known.
Interesting.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put this caller on and see what this person has to say.
Okay, cool.
Area code 484, you're on the air.
Hi, my name is Tonette. This is the first time I came across your show.
Great.
Hello.
Hey, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I have a question or two regarding a relationship issue that I really need clarity on, because I'm not getting any kind of answer or peace of mind or anything, and I just need to know just a few things here regarding this other female. Her name is Desiree.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I ask like a relationship question?
Yes. It's okay with me.
Well, okay. So, I had told her that I have house keys here for her to pick up because she was planning on moving her belongings and coming to stay with me and live with me. Do you have any idea of a time frame of when she's going to be picking up these house keys from my house?
Well, I got a question for you first. Do you really want her to move in? I got a yes on that.
Yes, I do want her. I do want her to move in because I've known her since I was 6 years old, and we've been in a relationship for about 3 years now, working on things.
If I tell you when she's going to pick up the keys, you probably won't be very happy. Can I get you, Tonette, to do something different right now? And it's not. This isn't for me. This is for you.
Okay.
I want you to. I'm going to ask you this question because I already know the answer to it. Does she bring out the best in you?
Yes, she did bring out the best in me. I was very depressed and stuff and going through a lot of things in other relationships, and I feel like her coming into my life put me in a whole new direction and healed me from a lot of my past hurts and relationships with other people.
Well, I saw October for picking up the keys.
Okay.
That's a long time for you.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting October, but...
Well, I'm going to ask again. So it's not this month, Tonette, and next month is August. So I asked if it was August. I got to know. It was September, no. October. If you want me to try to give you exactly when in October, I'd be happy to do that. But I'm under the impression that this is not going to be. You're not going to be all that pleased with waiting till October. Are you? I have a question. Are you going somewhere in October on a vacation, on a trip?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So hold on a second. Okay, so it looks like the first part of October. But, Tonette, doesn't Desiree have a boyfriend or a significant other?
She is living with a man, but they are roommates, and she's trying to get out of that situation.
Yeah, okay. I see.
She has her own bedroom there. I've been to the house. She has her own bedroom there. But
well, does it make sense that you're the backup plan, that you are holding the door open for Desiree? Is she in a great relationship? I get a no, because if I ask if this is just a roommate situation with this gentleman, you realize I get a no.
Okay.
Okay. So you have a romance.
So she's involved with this man.
That's what I'm getting. Yes, ma'am. You didn't know that?
No, not to that extent. No, I did not know that. No.
Well, it's not a big deal. But there's a transition that looks like it wants to come through, a transition for Desiree. And again,
because she expressed that she loved me and wanted to be with me, and she started all of that back in early January. So I don't know why she would say all that if she's involved or in love with this man.
I know, right? So I did see that the two of you were a combination, but I do see something in Desiree that's not going to be conducive to the relationship where you're concerned. That's why I asked you, Tonette. I asked you, does she bring out the best in you? And I still get a no.
Wow. Okay. Now
I wish I could tell you that there's the opposite here, because I can tell that this is a stunning revelation. Mm-hmm. Sorry about that.
So do you see her leaving this man, this situation that she's in?
Well, if we go back to the question, which I found it very interesting how you postured the question, you said, when is she going to pick up the keys? And I rather enjoyed how you asked. Yeah, I know, right? Because, you're a person that you do things by a calendar. You do things by the clock. Is that right about you? You're rather punctual.
Yes, because I'm a Virgo. I'm a business owner. I'm very, I have to run a strict schedule with my business and everything I do. And, she told me that she wanted to get out of this roommate situation. I offered her the keys to come stay at my place. I even told her to have the keys on hand because I'm very intuitive myself. I actually saw in a vision this man cornering her into different corners of that house. And I told her to be very careful, and that is why I brought up the fact that you need to come and get these keys. That way, if I'm at a job or at work, you can still get in my house and be safe.
Tonette, I'm going to tell you something about this situation. First of all, I too am a business owner, and I'm all about controlling the balance sheet and controlling my fixed asset and watching my investment. I think you're the same way. And when you postured that question right out of the starting gate on the keys, I was shown a big no. I want you to keep your keys. Don't worry about getting these keys to Desiree.
Okay.
Tonette, first of all, I want to say I'm sorry about, this reading. But can I tell you something that I saw down the road for you?
What?
Here it is. There's someone better coming. There's an honest, a little bit older person, a woman coming. And I really like this person. And she has your best interest at heart. It looks like end of the year that you meet this individual.
Mhm.
Are you? I'm sensing that you're brokenhearted for a moment. Am I right about that?
Well, I had a bad break relationship with a girl by the name of Michelle, and she, I guess I had like a 5-month situation with her, and she had children and stuff like that, and I thought things were going to work out, and then she started dating a man by the name of Frank. And then she lied to me, and I was even supportive through her whole recovery because she was recovering from heroin. I was even helping her with that and everything, and she was a nurse and stuff. And I really thought that she really cared about me until I found out that she was going behind my back and dating a guy by the name of Frank. And then that's when I cut off everything from Michelle. But from time to time, I will wake up in the middle of the night worried about Michelle because I'm very intuitive and very empathic, and I wake up worrying about her like I don't know if she's missing me or what, but I do not reach out and do any kind of contact with Michelle because I was just so devastated how she got into a whole relationship with a man when she was trying to build something with me.
He was providing things to her. Do you understand?
Yes, he was, absolutely. And guess what? The relationship broke off. They're no longer together. That broke off back in, like, February.
Yeah. And you know what? You are perceptive. So your intuition, I was checking it, it's on spot. She is thinking about you. Now, I'm going to say this. I think you are, a very wise person, and you are logical, but you're so resourceful. You're able to access your resources and help people. So
right.
I want you to see me not as the psychic and physical medium for the moment, but see me as your friend across the table when we've got coffee. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Tonette, I love the heck out of you. You got to not participate with Desiree. That's a no. And you got to raise your borders, Tonette, and you cannot participate with Michelle. You are correct, Tonette, that Michelle is thinking about you. She is psychically thinking about you. And since you are an intuitive, you are correctly picking up on that. But you know who you are? You're an empath.
Right.
And, yes. And so let me tell you really quickly about empaths. You got to zip it up. What's that mean? Well, you literally zip up from the floor and up the center of your body, just right at your nose, and you know what I'm talking about, and click it shut, because you are picking up a whole lot of messages around you. I'm shown that you're quite good with picking up messages from animals.
Yes, and it's funny because I was at work on Friday, and I actually started physically crying, and I was crying about my one friend, Dawn, who died in a horrific car accident in 1995, and it got to the point where I had to leave work, and I had to go get roses and a vase, and I went to Dawn's grave, and I just sat there and cried and put my hand on her tombstone, and I told her, please help me, please, what messages, because I know years ago when I visited her grave, I was in a lot of distress in relationships, and it seems like for some reason I had to go to her grave. I don't know what message Dawn has for me, but I just really broke down and started crying and had to go to her grave, and I still don't know the reason why.
Okay, well, in answer to that question, let me find out. Did you pick up? Yes, you were picking up on her. She was just walking through where you were working. She says she visits where you work. Now, this is your business, yes?
Yeah, but I go to different people's homes and take care of sick people, people that are paralyzed, people that are dying, hospice.
Okay, so I want you to understand that she did walk through, and you did perceive that correctly. Tonette, you're a great person, and I really enjoy walking around in your auric field. It looks to me, as I stand here with you in your auric fields, you've got some debris, if you will. People don't really understand what energy healing is, but you've got some tears in your auric field. And so after the show, I'm going to clear your auric field.
Okay.
And I don't think you'll be thinking about Desiree, because you know what? Desiree's got a whole lot of something on her mind, and I think you're terrific, but it doesn't include so much you. Okay? And I want you to wait for this really nice lady coming. This is a very nice woman who's coming in December. Maybe you can call back to the show in December and let us know.
Now, do you see this Michelle girl from the past? Do you see her contacting me?
Yes. Is this Frank and Michelle? Is this Michelle, that one?
It's the one in the past that was with Frank.
Yeah, I know. That's the one. Yeah, she never stopped thinking about you. But can I tell you something? Do not participate in that. Don't participate in that. That's going to be costly. I'm not just talking about heart. Go ahead.
How is Michelle going to contact me?
Oh, you want to talk to her? Do you realize? Okay, why don't you ask me this question? Is Michelle honest with you?
I don't know, but she's really been on my mind.
Yeah, that
heavily.
Sometimes.
Even though Desiree has been involved with me, Michelle has really been on my heart, and I don't know what's going on in Michelle's life. I don't know if she's back on heroin.
Yes. You're correct.
And she told me that, like I was a godsend to come into her life.
Yeah, you
are. So I felt really bad cutting the cord.
No, don't. No.
Because the whole Frank thing.
Don't feel badly about it. You help a lot of people. I see you help a lot of people. So yeah, I really like how you're very intuitive, and I want you to raise your borders and not help everyone. You do have a good company, and people recommend you by word of mouth. I mean, they feel so much better when they know that you're going to help with a relative or a situation. So please continue down that. Yes, please continue down that pathway. If I ask the question about this woman that I see in December, if I ask if she's going to be a partner with you, I get a yes on that. If I ask, does she have the same nursing background that you have, it's kind of close. But you make a very nice team. Mm-hmm. And hold on a sec. And I'm almost done, Jonathan. I'm so sorry. And so, Tonette, do something nice for yourself and raise your borders and don't participate with Michelle. Let Michelle go down her road because you're done. There's no more soul contract there. And Desiree, don't give her the keys. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much for taking my call.
Pleasure. My pleasure. My honor.
Great.
Okay.
Bailey says she's calling. Do you see your number, Johnny? Calling in?
Yes, I see Bailey, yes.
Oh, great. Great. Vanessa, she's calling.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay, Bailey, you're on the air.
Okay. Hi, Bailey.
Hi.
So glad you called. This is Vanessa and Kelly and Johnny, and we're all so glad that you called.
Do what now?
We're all so glad that you called.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know.
Can I just say something that I hear a lot of wind on someone's phone?
Yeah.
I'm outside walking my
I just put it on mute. Sorry, it's me. You guys, I just put it on. I'm going to put it on mute, okay?
Okay. There we
go. Put it on mute?
I think she's at the. Yeah, I think she went to the beach, Bailey.
Oh, that's a lot better. I can hear. Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay, am I on the air or?
Yeah.
You are on the air.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just couldn't hear that for a minute. I guess you'll have to bear with me because I'm taking care of a 6-month-old and puppies and a dog. So,
no worries, all good. Do you have any questions about your dad, Mark?
I mean,
I'm
honestly,
already picking up on some emotion.
I don't really know. I just, I've never dreamt of him when he's passed. I just felt like he was a Christian, and so was my grandmother, and I know that they're in heaven, and I am a Christian as well. I go to church like every Sunday, and just really
I'm a
firm
Christian
believer
too.
and that's what they raised me as. My dad raised me, and his mom and father, my grandparents, helped him raise me. So, I just felt like I felt after the accident. I felt his presence for like a day or two. Because it was a big jokester. Like he was the life of the party. He made everybody laugh, and he was hiding keys from people and turning lights on and off, and then it was just gone. And honestly, I haven't felt anything since.
He's around you.
I haven't dreamt of him. I don't really. I mean, every now and then something will happen. I'm like, my dad's here. My husband and I took a trip to East Texas recently, and my dad was born in Palestine. And I felt his presence there. Like there were certain just clues that I saw, like a couple of records that he was really big into James Taylor and Earth, Wind, and Fire and Sade, and it was just the signs were everywhere. It's almost like I don't know if he was telling me, yes, this will be a good move, or no, it won't be. But I'm sure if I tuned in a little bit more, I would probably feel his presence. But last week, I heard y'all talk to Priscilla and Barbara about the grief. And maybe sometimes you can't get past or through the grief. And I guess probably my grief has been pretty bad.
It's understandable. Grief is, if you don't take care of grief, it'll kill you.
Yeah. And I've been trying to do that because my dad hasn't been the only person I've lost in my life. He hasn't been the only loss. So I really have been dealing with trying to deal with my grief ever since. And I think I'm at a good space. I finally found somebody that I think has helped me more than anybody.
Is this your husband?
No, it's a son. Well, my husband's great. He actually lost a son. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, Danny is around you. And he's like, I know, he's in heaven, obviously, they're with Jesus. And we'll see him again someday. And I'm like, well, our daughter, McKenna, has probably a lot of angels on her side. She's got her brother that passed and my dad, and, my grandmother recently passed away. And the thing is, I was really close to my dad growing up and as a child and into my late teens. And then we weren't as close in my later years, like I would say probably 17 on. Until he passed, we weren't as close because of just some decisions I'd made, and I had some anger, and and it didn't end well, the last couple months of his life with him and I, but it did, but like we kind of had like a little spat a few months before he passed, but then, I saw him like a week or so before the passing. He was washing his car at the car wash, and also he said a few things to me before he passed about he said something, and I'm like, don't talk like that. Don't ever talk like that. He said, something is going on in Texas, and when I pass away, and I was like, what? And looking back, I'm like, oh my God, did he know he was going to go?
Yes.
But, in the moment, I was like, are you kidding? You're 47, you're full of life. There's no way you're healthy. And now anytime somebody says something like that, I'm like, do not even joke, because you can be gone tomorrow. So it really gets to me. So,
well,
but I mean, I really don't know I don't know, because like I said, I don't feel. I've never had an encounter with the spirit or anything. And, my Christian faith is so strong. And I really believe that, if you're saved, you go to heaven. And I know my father was saved. There was scripture all over his house when he passed. There were, his Bible had a dollar bill in it with Isaiah 12:2 underlined, and the same verse was in the backyard behind a cross. And, my grandmother raised us all in church, and so, I know where we're going when we pass. I know where they're at, along with my grandfather. So, and honestly, I've never spoken to a psychic before. I did see a shaman a while back, and she said, I think I was just maybe trying to deal with some of that, the grief and the loss. It was just weighing me down, and because it will eat you alive if you don't deal with some things. And so I went to the shaman, and she told me a few things. I guess she said my spirit animal was I don't remember now. It's been a while back. I'll think of it. What did she say? A lion? I don't know. I'll have to get back on that. But she did say, your dad came to me and he said, when he passed, he saw everything that he had ever done. And, there's one thing that she said, she's like, because my dad raised me, I know he did the best that he possibly could have. And my mother wasn't around. And so anyway, some things were said, and I was like, very emotional things, obviously. And I just kind of felt like he was there. And that came from him. And but
are you ready to hear something?
I mean, I guess,
Oh, you guess? You are under such incredible soul loss. There was a discrepancy between what your father saw you should be doing at the age of 17 and what you wanted to be doing. And it did distract him, and it did hurt him. I'm going to tell you something. That's for him to own. He was actually here at my house today, and he was here earlier. I tried to call him back, and he did. I did do. This is probably the second or third reading I've done for you and your dad. So he shows me that he is pouring into your life right now. He wants you to be fulfilled. He approves of the marriage. I kept thinking it was a boyfriend earlier today because he was here at 3:30 today. It is an approved alignment, and he's very happy for you. He says he knows that this is not going to heal you, but he is typically on your left side, and he does pour into you. He's trying to help you regain a sense of. It looks like you're looking to belong or have a sense. I mean, you have a little one, and you have this terrific husband. So he's trying to get you to pay attention to the sense of responsibility and belonging while you're here on earthly plane. There's something else that also came up, and it was Archangel Uriel. This is something that he showed me for you. Archangel Uriel is, and we just had the full moon, and you're going through a lot of shifts and a lot of change right now. So Archangel Uriel is here with you, and you were talking about the lion. The lion did show up in this reading because of Archangel Uriel. There's a connection between Archangel Uriel, because I'm looking at the Akashic records for you, and the Sphinx. The Sphinx are like what we see in Egypt at the pyramids, and they look something like a lion. The lion indicates strength. So you do have the strength and the fortitude to go forward. But I think it's just buried under all the soul loss and the grief. And there is so much regret that I'm picking up from you. Yeah. Your dad's telling you to set it aside, because what it's doing, it's causing you to not heal. It is causing further soul loss. If I access how much soul loss, I don't even want to tell you. You've lost so much of yourself. You need to have a soul retrieval. Yeah, yes. Mm-hmm. You need to have a soul retrieval. Okay. Did you disappoint your dad? Yes, you did. Did you disappoint your grandmother? Yes, you did. Is it the end of the world? No.
Yeah.
He knows what you're doing. The first thing he showed me earlier, he showed me all these ribbons. I was telling Barbara about it earlier. And I asked him, I said, are these something that are tacit to Bailey? He said, yes. Do you know what those were?
Ribbons?
Ribbons that you must have won, because he said that you won these ribbons. Some kind of competition. Barbara thought it might be singing.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I mean,
do you have ribbons around?
So it would be like the only thing that I won was like Little Miss West Texas when I was little, and
well, that's
but nothing.
I
never won anything or really
Bailey.
excelled.
Bailey, I'm going to tell you something. You have another lifetime that hangs over you, like so thick, around your crown, around your third eye, and around your throat chakra. It blinds you. You are a terrific, amazing woman. You're so hard on yourself. This is a previous lifetime that is creating all this soul loss. It doesn't have, if I ask, does it have anything to do with your dad, I get a no. If I ask, does this have anything to do with your grandmother, I get a no. This is another lifetime that is hanging over you. If I could describe to you what I'm shown, you would be a little surprised.
Oh, I know. I've always felt that. I've always felt that something else was going on, because to really have been through kind of what I've been through in my life, I'm like, wow, either God is really testing me or something, because
no, it's a previous lifetime. There was a very I got a question. How do you feel about in some past lifetimes we die not from natural causes. Sometimes some people drown and they don't, when they get to this lifetime, they're like, I don't want to learn how to swim, or they don't want to get on ships, or you might have, see. And I got a question for you. Is swallowing, do you have trouble swallowing? You have trouble with your throat ever? A lot of infections?
When I swallow? Huh?
Yeah. Do you have trouble swallowing? Do you have a lot of throat infections?
Sinus. I mean, when I was younger, I had, like tonsil, a lot of tonsil issues, and I went to the doctor and they said, "Oh, you carry strep puree, it's common." But as a child,
I got a question.
It seems like every other week I had swollen tonsils, and I still have my tonsils.
Yeah. Okay. How do you feel about sharp objects? Not so much.
They're fine.
You don't have a problem with sharp objects?
But,
what?
Huh? My husband, he does not like needles, but I'm fine with needles, and I mean, knives don't bother me.
Okay, I was
carving a pumpkin like a year or so ago, and I sliced my finger, and so ever since I won't mess with a certain set of knives that are just more sharp than others.
Exactly. Now, I want you to listen to me very carefully. I too am a Christian. I was telling Kelly I used to teach. I too am a Christian. I used to teach Bible school and Sunday school, and I used to lead corporate prayer.
Yeah.
But I've been psychic and my whole life, and a medium my whole life. So I'm going to tell you that we have all lived many lifetimes. There is a previous lifetime where you were, I'm going to say this as carefully as I can because I know there's a lot of people listening, is you were beheaded in another lifetime.
Okay.
In this
my
lifetime, has anyone ever said to you, you've lost your ever loving mind, or something to the effect that you don't think straight, or have you ever been called a liar?
I mean, yeah. Maybe. I think everybody's called a liar at least one time in their life.
Well, no.
In fact, one time, very specifically, when I was little, my dad used to get onto me all the time about lying.
Yes.
And he would, that was like his pet peeve. He did not like me to lie, and of course I understand that because I was afraid to get in trouble.
Bailey, do you understand that there's a correlation between what he was saying and a previous lifetime? In this lifetime, there's a correlation. And you've also gone through a lot of soul loss. You can come into this world with not full soul. And the shaman, that's what the shaman was trying to tell you. That's why she was trying to equip you with a power animal. And she says that you have the strength in you. That's why the lion came up, and the lion just came up again. I just did an Akashic reading here for you, and the Sphinx and Archangel Uriel came up, which doesn't mean anything to you, but when I see that come up, it talks to me about the Sphinx is a lion. It's strength and courage. So you have the strength and the courage to go forward now. I'm going to tell you again about your father. Your father is always with you.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not kidding. He literally told me he's with you. He also showed me earlier today, and I wrote down the time. This was 3:32 this afternoon when I did a reading. And I asked him to come in specifically for you. And he showed me a heart. He drew a red heart in the air. And he said to me that he watches steadfastly over you, over your half-sister Priscilla, and over Barbara. He protects all three of you. He showed me certain symbols, and I talked to him about it. He protects you.
Okay.
If you want to know if he forgives you, I get a yes on that. And he's actually very vocal about the forgiveness. You have nothing to worry about. That's where your strength and your courage come in, because you're a very strong, courageous individual. But you don't really probably want, you're a very nice person. You don't really want to talk much about yourself, but you need to talk about this. He stands and watches guard over you and Priscilla and Barbara.
Okay.
If you don't dream about someone, it's entirely fine, but I'm actually shown that you don't remember your dreams.
Maybe not, because I never dream. I mean, every now and then I will, but within
you know what
5 minutes I've forgotten.
Oh, hey, you know what? That happens, Bailey. No worries. But you know what will happen now? You will dream. You will dream.
Oh, wow.
You will. You will now, because
I don't know if
what?
I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know.
Interesting.
There's something like I'm afraid to even go there.
Well, he
I don't
showed
know.
me.
I mean,
I
don't know what it is. It's just a block.
Well, I'm trying to help you unblock it.
Yeah, my grandmother too. When she passed, we were estranged for 10 years because some things happened, and I was just upset, and she was probably upset.
I saw
and
what
unfortunately, when death happens in a family, it sometimes tears people apart, and it did us. So.
Bailey,
so we're coming back together now. Bailey, Bailey, I was just going to say that we're coming together now, and Vanessa she can clear things for you. She's doing that right now, helping you get rid of the blockage, and she's saying that you are going to dream now. And so try to look at the positive, and also your wonderful husband. You've been blessed. I mean, now it seems like you're getting back from your good karma. You were blessed with this wonderful husband and your new little baby, and you're enjoying life so much.
I know.
You have a beautiful, beautiful home. So you're being blessed now, and you went through a hard time, but that's just making you more, aware of your blessings, and think of it like that, and turn it into a positive.
Yeah, it really does. It makes me more aware, and it's kind of like, I don't know if I have a hard time trusting my husband, but that's probably a whole different story. But
well, really? Oh my gosh!
I just,
and he wouldn't be listening to the show, would he?
Huh? Oh no, he's at work. And, I mean, no, he's a good guy. Like, not infidelity or anything, just like trusting his motive. Like, I guess because I've been burned so much in the past. And it's just so hard for me to trust anybody and their intentions and everything. So I'm having a hard time with that right now. But I don't know why. I mean, I married him, and obviously I love him, and we have a baby together. But I'm like waiting for the day for him to disappoint me.
Oh no.
That sounds bad, but
that does sound bad. And you know what?
Turn that mindset around.
If you do that, that's what you will create, because thoughts become things.
Yeah.
So you need to stop and listen to me right now, because I am shown that you have these keys in your ear, and you turn them a certain way, and you don't hear anybody. I've been trying to tell you the whole reading what's going on. Your dad keeps pouring things into your hands. He keeps trying to get your attention. But everything Barbara said is accurate. Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to say it again. If you create the thought in your mind that your husband's going to be a horse's rear end, which I don't see that, then you will have a horse's rear end. You will also have a perception that is skewed of your husband. So you need to do this. Listen to me very carefully, Bailey, and I want you to say this after me. Cancel, pink light, pink light. Do it right now.
Cancel, pink right.
Pink light.
Oh, pink white? Okay, pink white. I have a baby
light.
Screaming in the... I have
light.
A baby screaming.
Like a light in the...
Right?
Yeah.
Pink
light.
L-R...
Yeah.
Okay, light. Okay, hold on. Cancel, pink light.
Yes. And every time you have that thought about your husband, because you know what? That is so unfair to him.
I know. I can't help it. I
yes,
don't
you
know
can.
what it is.
Listen
Obviously,
to me.
If you like
stop.
my life,
Stop. Cancel. Pink light. Because you know what? You don't listen to people. You can't do that. You must listen. That means stop talking and listen. When you start creating thoughts in your head, you don't know how powerful you are. Not just you, everybody who can hear my voice. Very powerful thought. When you start thinking like that, what's going to happen? You're going to create that. You don't want that. This is a good guy. Your father said to me that you had a man, and then Barbara clarified for me before the show, or when the show started. She said that you had married this guy. Your father told me twice at 3:30 today that he approved.
Okay.
You have a thought like that, I don't care what it is. It's cancel, pink light. I'm going to tell you something. You have to not think like that. That comes from a female side of the family, and then from that side it comes from the paternal side, which means you don't have any idea what I'm talking about. But that was an ancestor that was crushed beyond belief in another lifetime, and distrust has come down into the bloodline. Do you want to pass that on to your child? I gotta know.
No, I definitely don't want to. That's
what
I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fix whatever it is so that it doesn't get passed down.
Yes,
it stops with me. Whatever it is, it stops here.
That's called good. I'm glad to hear that, because when we stop something within our generation, we create a clean slate for 2 generations ahead of us and at least 7 generations behind. And if you push it back, you can push it back all the way to the ancestor that had that issue that is in the bloodline. You are absolutely right. I commend you, Bailey, for that, because not a lot of people know that. This is called emotion code clearing. But I'm going to tell you, that beheading in another lifetime, you couldn't hear because you can't hear me in this lifetime. People are always saying that you don't listen. Does that make sense?
Of course, my dad said that to me as a little girl all the time, but not
you don't
really
listen.
in my. Well, I guess I guess. I can
Okay,
see that.
so now you do, because we're going to unplug it. In fact, let me write this down, because when I get off this call, I'm going straight to work on you, and I'm going to clear your plugged up ears, and I'm going to clear that past lifetime, because your dad showed up today twice, and that's how much he loves you. If you sense him around you, Bailey, it is so, okay?
Okay.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do with the negative thoughts, Bailey?
Cancel, pink light.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. I'm not kidding. Yes. I can tell that that's clearing your stomach right now. Have you had stomach issues?
Yeah, but only because of my own doing.
Yeah,
well, not
I know.
really.
I saw a lot.
Just some.
I see a lot more, but that's not for here. So
not really.
Yeah,
stomach. I mean heartburns and stuff, and it got really bad with pregnancy. But
right.
But I think I know what you're talking about, and I don't know if I want to just come out and talk about it. So
yeah, I don't.
I know what you're
not
talking
from
about.
here, and I know that you know that I know what we're talking about. I'm going to clear this for you, and I'm going to clear. I'm not going to go into what I'm going to clear, but I want you to return to something. They told me to tell you to return to saying the what is the prayer? The Father's prayer. It's Our Father who art in heaven. You're supposed to start saying that again.
Okay, that I'm supposed to start saying that?
Yes, again.
Oh,
so
okay.
Tonight you start saying it.
Okay.
Okay? You say it 3 times a day for the first week, and then you stay with it. And you know what?
Okay.
When you do that with me, you cooperate with me, and it makes my job easier on this side. So you say the Father, you say Our Father, the Father's prayer, and then you cancel all those thoughts, because that came from your mom's side of the family, by the way.
Yeah, I kind of figured it did.
Okay.
Because there's a whole lot messed up on
Can
that
I tell
side.
you something? I want to thank you for finally listening to me, because I've been trying to get your attention since you got on the phone.
Yeah. Well, this is hard for me to do, so.
Why?
Extremely hard.
Why? I'm curious. Why?
Because, I wrestled with it, whether or not I was going to call or not.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Look at this. 15, 20 minutes on the phone, and you got equipped with perfect knowledge, and the fact that your dad's around big time. Now you're going to dream, and you have tools to fix that negative thought life about your husband. And I'm returning you to the script that they are showing me that you need to return and say the Our Father 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So you can
I
see
can do that.
Yes, I'm so proud of you.
I can definitely do that.
I
can definitely do that.
Yeah. You can see how it's very productive to contact a psychic. And I'm also a medium, and I contacted, your father, and I had a terrific day. You have a terrific father. He loves you very much.
I love him.
I know. And now that we're turning things around, your soul will be able to aggregate. It will be able to accrue and come back from its hiding places. When you go through difficult things in life, like war or a difficult situation or something that scares you terribly, these are just a couple of examples that cause your soul to fracture. The soul is a thing that weighs around 7 or 10 ounces, and it literally will fracture and go hide in the underworld to protect the rest of the remaining soul. Because without a soul, we can't operate in this world.
Yeah.
So now we're going to start calling back soul, and I will do a soul retrieval for you.
Okay, so I'm like,
yeah, you realize.
Honestly, I do feel like something is just, I'm stuck. I felt stuck for a long time.
You won't be. That's why your dad showed up today. Why did he leave? I don't understand why. He knew he was leaving. These are called soul contracts. That little one that you have, that's a soul contract that you have there with that little one. You talking to me today, that's a soul contract that you and I forged. We create soul contracts before conception. We create soul contracts before we incarnate. You have thousands and thousands of soul contracts. Thousands.
Okay. So his time was up? I mean, God called him home.
Again, it's a soul contract. He created the soul contract to exit earthly plane. You know what? If I ask the question, was he going to be able to help you on the other side after he died, in death, I got a yes on that. He's helping you right now. He protects you and Priscilla and Barbara.
I'm
gonna let you go, but here's what I want you to do: is if you think what the ribbons are like the first thing he mentioned about you.
Okay.
So if you think of it, let Barbara know.
Okay.
Yes,
right.
And it comes to you later. Things they might come to you later, and something came to me in my computer the day after I got the psychic reading about a pillow, and I saw a pillow and the wedding ring on the pillow, and then I never saw that picture again. Could never find it again. Is that crazy? And so something about my little child that, Priscilla's twin was trying to tell me something about the pillow, and that he didn't like the person that I married after Mark, when I married Adam, and nobody liked him, and he was not satisfied either with that. And he was just, because remember I had questions about my marriage and everything, and he was saying no, he didn't like it either. Something like that, okay? So it comes back to you, and so be watching for that, Bailey. And also, get rid of all of the guilt feelings, that you were estranged from this person before they died or that person before they died. They don't care anymore. Yeah. They think differently now that they're in heaven. They love you.
And I felt that. I felt that when my grandmother passed. I felt like this peace. I was like, you know what? Now that she's passed and she has that forgiveness, everything is been forgiven. It's all the slate has been wiped clean. I'm definitely not holding on to that. And it's gonna be so great, one day when I get to heaven, and it's gonna be so perfect. There's not gonna be any grudges or anger, or it's all gonna be forgiven. It's already.
You don't have to have any grudges or anger here now. You don't have to have that.
No, I know, and I don't. I'm a very forgiving, very loving person. I don't.
And everything
I'm not
Barbara
into the drama.
Everything Barbara just said is accurate. Everything she just told you is so.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And also that we are your family here now, Bailey. We're here for you. We're Life, Laughter, Happiness. We are equipped with everything you need spiritually for you to support you along the way. Your life.
Thank you.
And also look forward to your sister and meeting again. Now that she's 12, the last time you saw Priscilla, she was a little tiny baby. Now look at this future you guys have together. You have this sister, and she has a sister. How wonderful is that? And time heals everything.
I have a question. I have a question. When was the last time they saw each other?
When was the last time?
Yeah.
I think Priscilla was 6 months old, and it was at my dad's house in Las Vegas, and he was there, and I just remember him being so happy, and she was a very happy
Where are you
baby.
located?
Me?
Where are you located? Yes.
I live in Texas.
Do you want to talk to her on Eugene sometime?
Talk to who?
Talk to Priscilla on Eugene.
talk to Priscilla on YouTube?
Blue Jeans. We have a
think she has
video
a Blue
chatting
Jeans.
software. I know
Oh.
you may not know
Yeah.
what it is,
Oh,
but it's
he's
a
asking
video
you
chatting
if you would
software.
like to. If you would like to.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Of course.
Okay.
Sorry,
Like,
it's just
well,
I
you
don't
know
know
what,
what
they're
you're
gonna
hearing because it's
Okay.
like I don't know. Every now and then there sounds like wind coming through. And
Oh, but
I can
Johnny,
hear
they
it
have a
right
trip
now.
planned. I mean, next month Priscilla's going to fly out to spend time with Bailey and her husband and the little McKenna, Bailey. So, wow, you guys get to look forward to spending time with Priscilla, and they have a lot of fun things to plan. And they talk all the time. They text and through Instagram, and yeah, they've become close now.
Yeah.
After all these years, it's time.
I really am trying to get closer to her. It's just I feel that my baby takes up so much of my time. There are like days I don't even look at my phone. I'm like, I hope nobody's taking offense to this, but.
Oh no, I understand. We understand because we've, anybody who's had a little newborn, we understand, and no problem.
Okay.
Plus, trying to get a hold of a 12-year-old is not easy either.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
that's
Bailey,
true.
thank you,
Okay.
and stay on the line. Stay on the line. I want to see what Johnny has. I mean, he asked if Shauna had a question, and I don't know if that was a long time ago. I just saw that you wrote that to me, Johnny.
Okay.
Or is
I
the
did.
reading over, or what? Okay,
I think
so
it might be.
what's
Is it over? Okay.
Is Vanessa
No.
here still? Vanessa.
Yes.
Yes.
She's here. Okay.
Yes. I'm
so sorry.
Okay. So there's so much. I'm spending time with my best friend. Oh my gosh, Shauna Sand, and everything. You know what we've been through. I mean, we've had a long, 22 years or 1995, and things are just like our paths go like crossing, parallel, every which way. They're like we are really, really 24 years. Yes. Oh my gosh.
But we're only 30.
And
so
I know, and it's like we said today, it's like we're sisters, and it's just we're very close, and she's here, and I'm so glad that she's part of our community as well. But she just, I don't know, did you have a little question about your love life? Just one little one, because she's pretty much done.
Okay, so can you tell me anything about my current husband, number 5? Her adorable laugh.
Yeah.
I know. Should I be more specific? I didn't know. I mean, I don't know. Look at all the sand.
Well, did I pick up health issues with him?
What's that?
He has health issues.
Oh, yeah. Health issues.
Yeah. Is it respiratory?
Yeah.
Oh, he has severe asthma.
Yeah. So he relies on you. He's okay. What I tell you what? What's the question I can answer for you?
Gosh, there's so many.
I
It's
know.
hard to pinpoint it. I'm struggling. I'm at the beach, which
right
should
now,
give me clarity, but pardon?
No, it is giving you clarity. You're doing great, Shauna. This is a guy that is this a past lifetime? No, but I'm going to digress a little bit. You and Barbara have been together 4 lifetimes before this one.
Really? Wow.
And it took it took
about
you
us,
and
forget
Barbara.
about him.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's ill, and he needs her in order to feel. It looks like you do a lot for him. So, but going back to the 4 lifetimes, I found you two, Shauna and Barbara, in the 1400s, and it looks like Western Europe. So that would be, is it England? It'd be British Isles. It'd be England. And you both were. How do you both feel about stone like castles and stone walls and yeah? You two were fast. Yeah, you two were fast friends, and So were you both women? Yeah, it's so fun because usually genders, we switch genders lifetime to lifetime. And so if I ask, were you best friends? No. If I ask you were sisters, I get a yes on that. When I was talking to Barbara earlier, I saw you two as sisters, but I didn't do a reading. And then when Shauna got on the phone, it's like that just jumped right in front of the husband. So
wow.
I have to address that.
I feel
yes.
that. I love castles. I lived most of my life in Paris. I was drawn to France, to chateaus and castles, and
you were home. You were home.
You were home.
Yeah, I go into the churches in France and just get the chills. This energy is so incredible.
What happened is that you visited there often. So this looks like nobility. The two of you were nobility in that lifetime, and so there was a lot of travel.
I always thought that.
How do you feel about rings on your fingers? Like you love rings?
She tattoos rings.
I have tattoos ringed on me, or tattoos in the
You had a lot of
ring
jewelry.
Tattoos, tattoos.
Yeah, jewelry and gemstones and money and transportation. It was just you traveled a lot, and the two of you were sisters. It's just pure nobility. You had a doting father, and the mother. It looks like she exited earthly plane rather early, like around when one of you were 6. I'd have to do a deeper reading. But,
wow,
that's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. So as for the husband, yes, he has a respiratory situation. Does he die from it? No, but it plagues him. Does he have a CPAP machine?
Oh, what?
Does he have a CPAP machine, one of those machines that you put on at night and sleep? Because they keep talking about he's like snoring.
No.
Oh.
I mean, sometimes he snores and I push him on his side, but he's only 31, so.
Okay. Well, the CPAP machine's coming, but yeah, he's got a respiratory situation and can I tell you really quickly what asthma's from? And I see we're coming up on the end of the show, but the asthma's from a mother, a smothering mother.
Oh. Yeah. A mean mother.
Doting, yeah.
Oh, doting or mean?
Well, she's invasive mother.
Yeah, I guess that's the correct word. Yeah, I would say that's correct.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, you know what? This is so fun to end the show with, to find out about that.
Well, she's mean to me. She's not mean to him, or she's
not that
mean to me.
That wasn't fun. I'm sorry.
No,
the
that's
fun
okay.
part was I'm always imagining myself in those queen costumes from the 1400s all the time.
Yeah, no, yeah. I've always imagined myself as a queen.
Yeah.
It's
you
really
two had
because
so much fun.
Oh, I can only imagine if we're having this much fun in this lifetime what we did before. But it's really funny because I have 3 daughters and I named them all after queens, and I didn't even know that until my 3rd daughter was born, and she was already named. And Lorenzo, this person I was married to back in the day, said, "Oh, I chose my favorite 3 names. They're all 4 syllables. They all end in A, and they were all queens."
Wow.
Isabella, Victoria, Alexandra. Isabella, the Queen of Spain. Victoria, the Queen of England. Alexandra is Russia. My mom's half Russian.
Wow.
That's
no coincidence.
Yeah.
That's no coincidence.
Yeah.
I love it.
And you
knew what you were doing.
I didn't plan anything. I didn't even realize, that they were 4 syllables, that they end in A, or that they were queens until after Isabella was born and I was monogramming their towels.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I love it.
Oh,
and then I've always been in love with this. It's called the fleur de lis, and it's a French symbol of royalty.
Yes.
And I tattooed it on my back, on my lower back.
Oh, did you?
And and it's the French symbol of royalty. And I've always been in love with this.
Yeah.
And
you know what?
I've always been drawn to it. I've been drawn to
Webmaster put that on my website. That was my logo for BarbaraMoore.com for 20 years.
You're kidding.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's so crazy because Barbara and I was helping her organize her apartment because I'm absolutely in love with decorating and designing.
And she was talking about that in my future too, weren't you, Vanessa?
Oh my
Remember
gosh.
designing,
That's
decorating?
Yes,
It's
yes,
my
I do
passion.
remember.
And
Yes,
sometimes when
I
you move
do.
into a new place and you're looking at all of your same belongings, you just stare at things and you don't know what to do with them, and they remind you of things, and you need an outsider to come in who has an objective point of view, and I can just organize them quickly because I don't have any emotional ties to anything. So I came in and I was supposed to go to the beach, but I instead got like on this decorating rampage, and then did great wonders to her apartment. We're not done, but it's made a great progress and it's looking beautiful. And then ironically, Barbara says, my new colors are going to be orange and turquoise on my new business card and my new life colors. And I said, Barbara, you're going to freak out. And I called my mother and I said, Mom, and I put her on speakerphone and I said, Mom, what have I been discussing with you for the last couple of months? And even yesterday we were talking about my two colors of my new life, and turquoise and orange.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I'm gonna look up the significance of turquoise and orange and see what they mean.
But Vanessa, what is the significance of us both saying this, not knowing it the last few days and months?
That's amazing.
Wow.
What's the significance? Yeah, it's amazing. I just love having a reading like this where we can see the connection. But when I ask if the two of you are soul family, I get a definite yes.
Wow. Are we so what?
Soul family.
I felt like we were all family, and with your daughters, I've always felt that.
Because I set back in the day in 2002 or something like that. I set Barbara up with Lorenzo, and I said, Lorenzo, you seem sad. I want you to go out with my best friend. She's just so much fun, and she'll make you smile and bring so much life into and love and fun. She's so silly and just great. And Barbara's like, are you sure? I've never heard of that before. And I said, absolutely. I love you both. And I'm not a jealous person. I've been lucky never to feel jealousy. I just want everyone to be happy. And so I set them up and they hit it off. And there must have been an underlying and another reason behind that from another life. And that confirms what I've always felt with Barbara.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
And because it wasn't, I came to a realization that it's not for me to be with him. That's not the reason. And it's because we are soul family. It's you that I'm drawn to, not him.
Yeah, and that brought us back together because it brought you back to California, to LA, because you were too far. I'm like, what are you doing in Arizona, Barbara?
So awesome.
Yeah.
I know.
And
I
Aspen
love
doesn't
it.
do it for me. We
so
used to meet in
Aspen.
Aspen.
Are back together.
Yeah, we tried to meet in Aspen, but the altitude does not work for us. We need to be at the water, at the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I just love this.
Well, thank you so much.
My honor. It's my honor.
Thank you so much for reading Bailey, too, because she, needs to be on a positive, right path.
Yeah.
And thank you, Bailey, for coming on and accepting the help. And we will work with you from now on to stay on the positive path of light.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go clear Bailey right now. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
And I was just going to say something before we end.
Bye, Bailey.
Thanks, Vanessa. But I wanted to say something before the show is over.
Yeah. Okay, bye-bye.
Everyone, I wanted to say something before the show is over. You said I was a knight. So I just wanted to let you know that was kind of interesting. Vanessa said I was a knight.
Oh, you were? Maybe you were our knight.
I don't know.
Your voice. Shauna says
all right, well, thanks, everybody. And thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Barbara.
You're welcome. Have a great night, everybody.
Okay, you too.